So each class should have only one sole purpose and not be filled with excessive functionality. What does it mean? So if I go to this area calculator in here, and let's say that we want to add a method to print the result, so the result of this sum in here as a JSON object. Well, we could do this. So we could open up the area calculator, and within it, we could say, for example, public, and then string, and then JSON. And then inside here, we could just say return, for example, and this will be a string just like that. And this will be sum, column, and then %s dot formatted. And then we could say sum, and then pass the shapes in here. And if I extract this to parameter, just like that, and there we go. And this, and now we have this method that gives us the JSON version for the sum of all the shapes. Now, if I go back to main, and instead of saying sum equals to sum, I could just say in here, so I could just basically get rid of all of this and then say area calculator dot, and then JSON, and then pass the shapes. So nice and easy. If I run this, you can see that we have sum, colon, and then 414. Now, we just broke the rule of single responsibility. Why? Let's have a look. So within area calculator, we said that single responsibility, a class should have one single purpose. And in here, we said area calculator. We have one method that does sum for the areas, but this method here is basically just printing the JSON blob. So what we should do is, so this actually should be on its own class. So here again, so each class should have only one sole purpose and not be filled with excessive functionality. So let's say that instead of JSON, we want a CSV, right? So this will be a CSV. So CSV, and the CSV version is relatively straightforward. It's just like this. So sum, and then comma, and then the actual value. If I go to main in here and duplicate this, and if I say CSV instead, and then run this, you can see that this is the JSON formatted version, and this is the CSV. But we are breaking the rule. So area calculator is now filled with excessive functionality. So this, or these two methods, they don't belong here. So what we do is we take this. So let's just cut from here, and let's create a new class. And I'm just going to call it for now shapes, and then printer, for example. So there we go. And basically we're going to paste that in. And now here we could just say, for example, int, and then sum. And we could actually pass the sum, or actually the instance of area calculator. But for now, let's just say sum in here. And I'm going to say shapes, and then sum. There we go. And this will be shape sum as well. So underscore sum. And we take int sum from here. We pass it in here. And then we pass sum in here. There we go. And now if I go to the main method, so in here, this now throws an error, and that's because we need the shapes printer. So let's just have shapes printer, and I'm going to call it printer equals to new, and then shapes printer. And then instead of saying area calculator, we could just basically take the printer. So I could just say printer. There we go. And this now will take the sum. So let's just pass sum in here, the same with the line above. So this will be now, instead of JSON, this will be CSV. And if I run this now, you can see that this works the exact same way. But now we have a dedicated class which deals with formatting the sum of the area for each shape. So this is single responsibility. So this class has one responsibility, and that is to format to JSON, CSV, and maybe if you want HTML, so on and so forth. So this is basically single responsibility in action.